You see, in the life you only live once, you can either walk the path that everyone walks, or you can step out of that runway to nowhere and create your own. So instead of conforming to society, you should step out of that boundary of comfort and actually expound your will into the universe and create your reality in the best image of yourself. In a fucking world full of deplorable fucking neutered sheep, you have to rise above them and you have to seek what you want. You have to desire it so bad that you can't sit down, because every time you sit down, you get sparked by a fire that lights your ass, telling you to get the fuck up and go get shit done. Now, you can either remain a conformity, abnormality, deformity, or you can go and you can actually conquest into the world and achieve what you truly desire. Because in a world where most put their goals on a pedestal, thus rendering themselves inferior to their own goals, the moment you understand that you are the value and you are essentially above your goal, all you have to do, the only thing that is preventing you from actively achieving that goal, is the action in between that goal. And the moment you fill in the action through the space and time continuum, through each step you take, you inevitably reach one step closer to your goal. Now, in a world where most people take one step forward and then 5 backwards, and then complain to the world and to everyone else and put the blame on everything but themselves about not achieving their goals, be the individual to put all responsibility on his shoulders, to understand that if you're not achieving your goals, if you're not completing, if you're not accomplishing the goal that you need to accomplish in this lifetime, then it's really your fault and no one else's. So instead of blaming someone else for all your inadequacies that reverberate into the cosmos every time you abruptly and disruptly assert how inadequate you are through your engagement of the environment, through your relationship that is compounding decreasingly exponentially. So understand that you are compounding, you're decreasingly compounding exponentially to your relationship, to the environment. This you are manifesting out of you these inadequate, pointless, abrupt, useless, worthless actions into the environment that have no cause whatsoever but to distract you and to deter you from what you're actually supposed to be doing and being a responsible fucking human being instead of an inferior, self-debilitating primate. So remember that you only live once, and if you're not becoming the individual you're supposed to individuate into, and you're not fulfilling the mission you're supposed to be fulfilling by becoming the individual you're supposed to individuate into, then you're really just a waste of space on earth, and you're really not needed. But you always have an open spot at the corporation that you think you're needed, but you're always replaceable. And you always have your spot there to fit in and feel like your life really has some meaning when it doesn't. Because if it does, you wouldn't walk around as a miser projecting your inadequacy onto everything but yourself. So you can either reflect on the reality that really is the 100% a reflection of you, or you can not reflect, you can disengage reality, and you can squander yourself, and you can lie to yourself and dilute and immerse yourself in this reality of pure delusion instead of confronting your fucking reality, grabbing the fucking shovel and digging so fucking deep that somehow you came across gold, and now you're serving that to the world, and in return you're gonna increase in value, and in this sense, value as currency. So your currency, your wallet gets bigger. The more you expound beyond your fucking limitation, grow as an individual, dig so fucking deep, and then give that value to individuals who need it more than you in certain periods of their time. And you can grow as you're supposed to. If you're not evolving, you're devolving. If you're not being the best, then you're obviously the fucking worst. So you either lock in on your life, or your life, the best one, is the sacrifice. So understand that you only live once, and to follow the path that all these fucking sheep, mediocre, self-debilitating, deplorable, irrefutably, exponentially compounding backwards fucking primates, instead of being one of them, you should fucking look yourself in the mirror, understand that you live once, and comprehend the velocity and let it corrode your mind to actually lead you to confronting the individual you're not confronting, and to actually repair and become the individual you always needed by individuating into that individual, and then serving that on a silver platter to the fucking world to bear witness to what the fuck they're not and what the fuck they chose to stay, instead of becoming the best version day in, day out, putting in pain, digging so fucking deep through the crevices of your heart and confronting all that you've been neglecting for your entire fucking life. Now, you see, the ones that hear the message and feel attacked are the ones that actively retract. But I know through experience, through the messages that people send me, that, they're actually evolving in their life because I'm giving something to evolve around, to revolve around. So instead of being, a concoction of just chemicals with awareness, you should actually become an individual that, you truly would love to be, instead of being someone you actually really fucking hate and then use everything that is a distraction, retraction to your life, and just to distract you away from who the fuck you are and being who the fuck you're, not. So you're always supposed to be the best version of yourself, and you're always supposed to be expounding beyond that limitation. You're supposed to be circumnavigating and expounding beyond the circumstantial circumference that you place onto your mind due to your own limitation and lack of intelligence, so thus rendering yourself an inferior fucking primate. And instead of rendering yourself that and surrendering yourself to that, you should look in the mirror, see what you can do to become the individual you need to be, or you could remain a low-level piece of shit that's rendered inferior through all the superior versions that they choose not to be, because they rather conform into deformity instead of expound beyond their fucking limitations and exempt themselves from the worst versions of themselves. You have to understand that in a reality where we have people obviously being the highest version of themselves, to not be one of them is to render yourself inferior and be a lower fucking specimen of what not to be. So as you continue to expoundingly increase and compound your fucking demise, as we watch you and then look into ourselves and then reflect on the fact that we don't want to be anything like you, and then fucking circumnavigating our own circumstantial circumference that we place on our mind, and then ensuring that we get nothing close to you. Yeah, you don't want to walk that way. So you can join the self-development community in the link in the bio, and you can see, you can look at things you haven't seen before, and you can experience a different level of yourself in a world, on a planet where we have primates that do nothing but the same shit every day and really just live on a never-ending loop that really is hell, just on a repeated cycle. Yeah, our goal is to constantly expound beyond our limitations and to discover ourselves and to see and seek the rarest forms of our expression, and to authentically express that in the world full of sheep and conformities that do nothing but conform their perceptions to align with what others believe they want them to be perceived as, and then really just conform their fucking mind and deform into a fucking mind slave, wagey, brokey. Go back to your corporation if you don't like the message. You either create your reality or you walk the path that everyone walks. But if you're walking the path everyone walks, then no one wants to walk with you. So you should probably, understand you live once, go on an adventure, and, live your life by discovering what you haven't discovered, instead of abruptly living this life in a sequential fucking form of hell by every day repeating the same shit and then not doing shit with your life. So remember, you only live once. DM me on Instagram for one-on-one coaching, or you can go straight to my website, link in the description. And, we assign you a self-development regimen We assign you habits, 3 habits to get your mind and body and your soul right, to get your spirit connected, and to find what you're supposed to do in life in a reality where everyone's very lost. Yeah, we're just going to shine the flashlight for you. And, you know, if you choose to walk the path that no one wants to walk, then that's on you. But if you want to remain that inferior hominid, homo sapien, low-level, deplorable, dispensable, piece of shit bitch that really is retracting their entire life instead of actually growing like every fucking thing in the cosmos. Literally everything is growing but you. You definitely need coaching, so you could go ahead to my website and lock in on your life. Remember, you only live once. Peace.